So, is Jordan Peterson an idiot? Yes, he is. He is an idiot. Bye. Well, okay, here's the background of this thing. So I reacted to a video from a debate between Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson. And I started going, it was based on Jordan Peterson saying that, well, the good old argument against atheism, that, well, you had atheistic countries like Russia, Soviet Union, etc., and they were, Stalin were killing more people than Hitler and blah, blah, blah. But then Sam Harris argues that, well, yeah, but if you see like the similarities between how Stalinism was, how that worked in that country is very, very, very similar to religion. Like only you don't praise a god, you praise Stalin, which is the god they praise. So the argument just sucks. And my answer, I just started talking about Norway, which I'm from, and religion, and that maybe it helps when you live in a rich country. It helps to not, because Norway isn't a religious country. And yada, 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 blah, 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 doesn't matter. Let's see that video. But the point is, I made a thumbnail, which I'm kind of that's a cool thumbnail. YouTube is just so new for me, so I'm just trying different things, and I recently learned how to make thumbnails. Very primitive, but I learned how to do it. So that's a thumbnail. I like it, and I thought, but it doesn't fit my video though. So that compelled me to make this video, because of the thumbnail. And the thumbnail is a picture of Jordan Peterson, and it's just idiot. Idiot. Hey, idiot is the same in Norway. Idiot. Idiot. Jordan Peterson, idiot. Jordan Peterson, idiot. Jordan Peterson, moron. Jordan Peterson, dum I huet. Jordan Peterson, a fucking moron. Nah, I just said it. Emotional. Oh, yeah, okay, let's talk about that. Because here's the thing. I have friends that are Mensa members. I'm not a Mensa member, but that I know are much more intelligent than I. But they support, I don't know if they support him anymore, but they have defended him with claws out. Well, I have criticized him, and the whole argument, for them, it always boils down to the self-help book that he has, book he has written. Clean your room and all that, which is fine. But my point is that even though he says he's not, even though Jordan Peterson says that he is not, Jordan Peterson is very political. And it's on the right. I don't know if I'd call it far right, but it's on the right. A lot of the problem with him is that, and the frustrating part of him, is that he's blatantly being political and on the right, but constantly saying that he's not political. I don't know if he calls himself neutral, but and I think that is also what makes people from the far right resonate towards him. Like, oh, okay, I like this guy because he's so undefinable for those people. For people like me on the left, we see through it. Like, okay, he's full of, And I've discussed this with a friend many times, and he's asking, and he agrees with me that Jordan Peterson, he's a liberal too. Jordan Peterson politically, nah. But his point was, his argument was, well, can't he be political and has his political opinions and still write self-help books that helps people? Because my friend I'm talking about now likes people a lot more than I do. I don't like people. He loves people. So he has talked to a lot of people about this. a lot of people likes or has gotten something out of Jordan Peterson's self-help books. And my argument was, and just keep in mind, this argument was turned to 11 just to make the argument itself. I'm not saying that, just listen to the fucking argument, all right? So my argument was, all right, so if you read a book that helps you so much in life, and you don't know who the writer is, but it helps you so much in life, and you're like, this changed my life, this set me on a better path, and then you learn it's Hitler who wrote the book, and it's like, all right, that's kind of, I'm not saying Jordan Peterson is Hitler, just calm down, I'm not saying that. But the point is that Jordan Peterson has so many political views, even though he says he doesn't, and he's so critical of the left constantly. Again, he also had a podcast or whatever on Daily Wire. So, and it's, well, Hitler would at least not be hypocritical in that. But, you know, Jordan Peterson, like, yeah, but if you're a liberal and you read that and get good shit from his book and you just do your research and find out that Jordan Peterson, I'm not talking about the self-help book. I haven't read it. I don't care about self-help books. I don't need self-help books. I have alcohol. Yes. But not taking into account all the times he has misconstrued, is that a word? Or like he has, I've seen many debates, he has come with facts that are kind of true, but he is not. I've said this before, but this is an example. It was a podcast, I think it was during COVID, and it was about gay people adopting kids, like two men having a kid, two women having a kid. And he came with referenced a study where people without a mom or people without a dad, or kids without a mom or kids without a dad, had this and this so and so much percent of fucking up our mental issues. Like you were, you know, more predisposed to mental health issues, where the chances were bigger than if you had a mom and dad. All right, in that context, all right, okay, I guess that's statistics. So you do your research on, okay, what statistics does he refer to? Well, that lying sack of shit. His statistics, his reference was to single mother, no dad, single mother. Single father, no mother, just single father. That was the statistics he talked about, not two parents. And that lying son of a bitch. And I always said this to people. Okay, so if you have Jordan Peterson, if he sat there, you know, if he was the camera, whatever, and he is so full of shit, so full of word salad. Well, it's a complicated issue if you think of... No, it's not a complicated issue. You ask him simple questions, and then you say, you have a green button that says yes. This is a green button, yes. Red button, no. Green, yes. Red, no. I'm asking you simple fucking questions. Abortion. When should... you cannot know when. It's a yes or no question. Yes and no questions. And if someone asked him that, and he was okay with being on something like that, wouldn't you be curious what he would actually say yes to or not to? Are you a Christian? Well, it's a complicated issue. No. You have green button, yes. Red button, no. It's not a complicated issue. Well, no, it's not. Green button, no. No, red button, no. Green button, yes. It's not a complicated issue. And someone needs to take me into account and say, like, stop your fucking shit. That's what happened in Jubilee. Where all these kids owned him. And that little cocky motherfucker, that cocky kid, who said, you're really, Peterson said to him, you're really something, aren't you? And that cocky little fucker, he said, well, you're really nothing, aren't you? I clapped and I said, are you my son? Is that my son? All those fucking cocky young motherfuckers on that program was potentially my son. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Well, I don't think I have a son in America, but, you never know, Anyway, and people now talk about him crying all the time, and I don't want to go into that. Him crying, that's, But it's so evident, it's so there, transparent, that he is just based completely on emotions. It's just emotions. He referenced Dostoevsky, the fucking Crime and Punishment, and the Brothers Karamazov. He referenced those books all the time, and I've read them, and they're great. It's great literature, and it's interesting because Dostoevsky, especially Brothers Karamazov, he had for the time a very interesting look on. He wrote. He wasn't an atheist himself, but he wrote atheists. Kind of like if he understood atheism in a way. He had a brilliant mind of understanding different people from different perspectives. You really get there's a lot of, especially Brothers Karamazov, is men, sometimes women, talking in rooms about their ideas. And in that sense, it's great. But also, I remember in Brothers Karamazov that thinking, like, okay, the Christian here is the main character, and the brother Ivanov is the atheist. And I remember thinking, well, fuck, it sounds like the atheist talking. It sounds like that's modern Norway, which I live in. We are very liberal when it comes to, like, sentencing to people who does crime, prison. We are looking at it as rehabilitation, not prison. We are trying to rehabilitate people. And we have a very humanist approach to the whole thing, which the atheism in my, which I remember in that book, sort of talked about that. No, fuck me. No, I'm sorry. The Christianity in Brothers Karamazov sounded like now modern Norway, an atheist country, basically. And the atheists sounded in Karamazov book, atheists sounded like Old Testament, Old Testament religious people. I just found it interesting that when I read from the Christian perspective in the Brothers Karamazov, I always thought about modern Norway and our humanist approach and the way we look at, rehabilitating people. That, whatever, doesn't matter. But I gotta check. This phone sometimes just stops, so I had to check. But I think Jordan Peterson's just full of shit, to be honest. And it's not a complicated issue. He makes it a complicated issue, but it's not. Seriously, how are you not curious about my hypothetical scenario here? But green button, yes. Red button, no. Gun to your head, Mr. Peterson. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Well, it's not a complicated issue. Everything. I went to fucking art school. I know what pretentious is. And I've been called pretentious too, by the way, so I'm not like... I wouldn't say Peterson is necessarily pretentious, but I know, and he's a smart guy, I'm not... But he's using a whole lot of words. Word salad. It's not... It could have been said simpler. And I think people see through it. through him more now than before, and and yeah, I remember he had some problems with some pills. Don't have to do all that, you know. I don't know pills, well, but he had to go to a special place in Russia to get the special treatment. Fuck you, Peterson. You wanted to go to Russia because of Dostoevsky. He came from fucking Russia. He's a fucking fanboy, I say that. I like Star Wars, though. Anyway. And also his daughter fucked Andrew Tate. That's, you know, don't blame Peterson for that. But asking Peterson about Andrew Tate, is that a complicated issue or is it a fucking simple one? Is Andrew Tate a fucking trafficker and a rapist? Yes, no, yes, no. Anyway, so that's my 2 cents about that matter. All right, I just want to make one thing clear at the end here, that there's people I know a lot of people that are much smarter than me, more intelligent than me. That's obvious. I'm not that smart. I just know a lot of smart people. And I bullshit my way through it. I'm a fucking car salesman when I'm drinking, you know. Doesn't matter. I've met a lot of intelligent people. But at now pushing almost 37, I've understood one thing. And that is that intelligent people, more intelligent than I, can be idiots. Just as the rest of us. They can be fucking idiots. Just like you and me. And I think a lot of the reason why, especially nowadays, and Jordan Peterson have paved the way for this, is that thought and feeling are the same thing. So you vote for someone, you vote for this, you vote for that, because you feel this and that. That's not how it should be. But you're taught that that's how. You're taught that that's okay. That there is no difference between thought and feeling. That there is no separation between the two. I feel bitter about this. I feel bitter about that. That's why I vote this. So I'm an artist, right? I suck. I know. But that's what I am. So here in Norway, which I live, I'm from Norway. I could have voted for someone who would make it easier for me to live here as an artist. But I didn't. I voted for what I thought was best for the country. Thought, not feelings, not egotistical, what was best for the people here in Norway. And you might disagree on what I voted for, but for me, the choice was the people, education, taking care of